My dear fellow collectors, welcome to another crazy idea of Busy Bee from Germany. In 2018 I showed you the experiment where I tried to restore the wave of the Totally Barbie with water, and I had no success with the water method. So I thought for a very long time about doing this or not. But in December I had the idea to have a look at the crimpers and see how they work and if there are any differences, and how we probably can get this look on her. So that's my first result. I played a bit around with the technique. And yeah, that's the result I had so far. And I'd like to give you an introduction how the whole crimper stuff works and where differences are. I've bought 2 crimpers and I found differences in how they work and what you should have a look on, what you should look for when you are buying a crimper to do this on your doll. There are significant differences which I'm going to show you in a minute or two. I don't know if this will be the only episode or if this will be a very long episode. My first buy was this crimper. I found it for €5 including the shipping, which was a very good price. And yeah, this was my first try on crimpers, and yeah, it works. It has the right plates for our project, which you can see here. That are the right plates. It's not complete. One of the straight ones is missing, but I don't care about this. I don't need the straight ones. I only need the ones with waves. So no problem here. And the second one was this one. Shaking. This video preparation lasts longer than I planned before, because this was on its way to me, and yeah, since I'm working full-time since January, the mailman had problems to get it signed by me, and so it was sent back to the seller, and I had to talk to the seller, and long story, now I have it. The seller was very patient, which I'm really thankful for. I did, with this iron, I did her hair here. My first try was not bad, but I'm not really successful because I had problems to get to the top here. I'll show you in a minute why this is like it is. So that's the iron I used for her. You can see it has curves here, and the problem is you cannot go very close to the top of the head. That's why I had to stop where I didn't want to stop. I wanted to do it until here, but it was not possible with this iron. That's what I learned while doing this. I tell you the important factors that you should pay attention to when you want to crimp Barbie's hair. So the first iron, the crimp iron, is heating up. The crimper is heating up. And I'm going to measure with my infrared thermometer how hot this thing really is. I hope that we find the right temperature for the crimp waves so that they stay in the hair. And now let's have a look how hot this thing really is. I'm really curious to see it. I think this is going to need 5 minutes or so. It's not the fastest crimper I have, but let's see. Oh. So what I can tell you now by my temperature measurements is that this crimper is much hotter than any other one I have. So if you want to know why I use this doll, her hair was already cut and the rooting pattern started to dissolve itself. So I thought she would be a good model, because when something would go wrong, it would not be a great deal for me, because yeah, her hair is cut and she's not really valuable to me. So I used this doll. Let's have a look how our test model will look later on. I will show her to you again when her hair is dry. Now she has wet hair, and I am not working with electricity. When I use this thing, I put the out so that I don't have electricity on the crimper itself while working with it. So I want to be sure that nothing can happen. My dear fellow collectors, that's the result I got from yesterday. I'm satisfied with the result. Looks good so far. And now we are going to continue with the Totally hair Whitney and crimp her hair again.